the Sikh world celebrates the Shahidi Dihada, the supreme martyrdom of Guru Teg Bahadur Ji on the 24th of November. This short video explores the following three issues. 1. What was the event about? 2. What is the truth of it? And 3. What were the messages behind this event? Guru Teg Bahadur Ji was put to death by the order of the then Emperor Aurangzeb in the public square of Chandni Chowk, Delhi on the 11th of November 1675. The ninth Guru thus became the second of the two Guru martyrs within the Sikh faith. The first was Guru Arjan Ji. While commemorating the martyrdom of Guru Teg Bahadur Ji on the 24th of November, our clergy, Granthis, Pracharaks, Ragis and Tatis will address our Sangats from our Gurdwara stages. They will tell us that Guru Teg Bahadur Ji gave his life in defense of a particular religion and particular symbols of that religion, and that the ninth Guru did so at the behest of 500 Kashmiri Brahmins who had come to him to save themselves, their religion, and their symbols. While commemorating the martyrdom, our clergy will sing as Kirtan poems that are taken from compositions that are not contained within the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Poems that they have been singing for decades. Poems that are not Gurbani, but poems that fit the narrative that Guru Teg Bahadur Ji laid his life to protect particular symbols of a particular religion. The verses of this poem are Tilak Janju, Rakha Prabhatanka, Kino Bado, Kalu Main Saka, Tarmahet Saka Jan Kiya, Sees Diya, Par Sirar Na Diya. Translated, they mean the massive event of the sacrifice in Kaljug was in defense of the sacred mark Tilak and the sacred thread Janju. Tilak Janju, Rakha Prabhatanka. He gave his head in the name of religion, Tarmahet, for these symbols, but not his faith in them, Sarar Nadia. Our Ragis and Pracharaks have told us the lie that Guru Gobind Singh Ji penned these verses. Based on the messages of these verses, the Sikh world has been told that Guru Teg Bahadur is Hind Di Chadar, the protector of Hind, protector of the Hindu nation, to whom the symbols of Tilak and Janju belong. The dishonor of singing as Kirtan compositions that are not from within the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji aside, the messages that are contained within the composition perform the greatest of disservice to what Guru Teg Bahadur Ji stood for. The messages are in fact a betrayal of the sacrifice. One wonders if this poem was composed by the same people who wanted to imprison Guru Teg Bahadur Ji within their own narrowness and then claimed falsely that it was Guru Gobind Singh Ji who gave us this narrative. And our Ragis, Kirtaniyas and Pracharaks have regurgitated this fiction to our Sangats and to the Sikh world unthinkingly. Young Sikhs belonging to the generation of the millennials, our children in our homes, and our youth as the custodians of Guru Nanak's Sikhi in the next generation ask, if indeed we have understood and presented the reasons for the martyrdom of our beloved Guru in the real and accurate sense, or if we have presented the martyrdom in a way that reduces its significance and narrows its importance. More importantly, our youth ask of the real reasons that emanate from the supreme sacrifice, messages that are relevant to Sikhs in particular and humanity in general. These questions give us reason to pause and reflect. To say that Guru gave his life in defense of two symbols of a particular religion is to reduce the enormity of the sacrifice. To say that the Guru sacrificed himself in defense of any one particular religion is to severely narrow the magnanimity of the sacrifice. To propagate such may indeed be the agenda of people who want us to believe that Sikh Gurus were no more than defenders of a particular religion and its symbols, but the truth is something else. And we can only get to the truth if we seek the truth courageously and judiciously, and if our clergy, Ragis, Granthis, Kirtaniyas and Pracharaks stop preaching these narrow and agenda-based messages to our Sangats and stop singing poems that are composed with the aim of propagating these same narrow messages, and stop narrating the untruth that these poems are written by Guru Gobind Singh Ji. He could not have written what was never the truth. And the truth is that Guru Teg Bahadur's martyrdom had nothing to do with any two symbols or any one religion in particular. It had everything to do with the freedom to practice one's faith. It had everything to do with celebrating diversity as a diverse characteristic of the Creator. You see, Pyareo, in 1670, Emperor Aurangzeb announced his policy of Ek Mazhab, or one religion. The foundational justification of this Ek Mazhab policy was that the only way to have peace and unity was for everyone to profess just one religion. Aurangzeb had decreed the destruction of all places of worship and education belonging to faiths and religions other than the one he subscribed to. He further ordered the discontinuance of all customs, all rituals and all practices that contravened his Ek Mazhab dictate. In the mind of Guru Teg Bahadur, the notion of a single mazhab was antithesis to the foundational principle of nature, which was diversity. The principle of diversity was a foundational belief of Guru Nanak's Sikhi as encapsulated in the verse on page 385 of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Ek bagicha ped kan karya, amrit naam taha main falya. The meaning of this couplet is, the orchard, meaning humanity, is one, but the vegetation within it, meaning the people, is diverse aplenty. It is within such kind of diverse creation that divinity comes to fruition. Guru Teg Bahadur Ji thus decided to take a stand on the issue in a very public way, the purpose of which was not just to send a message to Aurangzeb that his one mazhab dictate was unacceptable, but to convey to humanity at large that defending the right to one's beliefs was an unassailable right. And for such a stand and message, he laid down his life. The narrative of standing up for one particular religion and laying down his life for two particular symbols is akin to encapsulating the depths of an ocean into a teacup. It's an attempt to fit the heights of a mighty mountain into a wheelbarrow. It wasn't a particular religion or its symbols that Guru Teg Bahadur ji stood for. It could have been any religion. It could have been any belief or any symbol. It could have been 50 Jainis from Gujarat in place of the 500 Kashmiri Brahmins who had called upon Guru Teg Bahadur ji. It could have been a group of Buddhists from Bengal or yogis from Uttarakhand. The particular religion, belief, or symbol was inherently irrelevant. What was relevant was standing up for the oppressed. No matter their faith and beliefs, what was relevant was to stand up even when faced with certain tyranny and death. And he stood up on his own. He recognized the tyranny of the Ek Mazhab dictate on his own, not at the behest of any number of people from any particular religion. Having said that, the question that the Sikh world needs to answer is this: have we honored the sacrifice of our beloved Guru? Have we inculcated the messages and lessons of the Shahidi within our lives? A cursory look around us tells us that we have not. We have reduced a sacrifice of earth-shattering proportions and equally great messages to the giving up of our life in the defense of two symbols. We have accepted the narrow narrative of Tilak Janju Rakha Prabh Tanka. We have reduced Guru Teg Bahadur ji to Hind di Chadar, when even to address him as Manukta di Chadar or Insaniyat di Chadar would have been an understatement. Come the 26th of November, Pyareo, it would be 3.5 centuries, 347 years to be exact, of the event under discussion. To honor the great sacrifice of Guru Teg Bahadur ji, I urge all Sikhs to awaken and to enlighten ourselves on the real lessons and the authentic messages behind it. I urge all of you to read my book on this issue titled Understanding Salok Mehla Noma. In this book, you will find the biography of Guru Teg Bahadur ji, a commentary on his Bani as found within the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and a full and complete translation of his Bani titled Salok Mehla Noma. The link to this book is provided below. Thank you for your attention. The Global Sikh Council wishes you a meaningful and purpose-filled Shahidi Dihada of Guru Teg Bahadur ji, our beloved ninth Guru.